Today in the news, we've got a 4% improvement in excess of apples and old save files. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Alright, so there were some Geekbench leaks about the Intel 9th Gen CPU last week, and there was one thing that stood out to me in those leaks. Just to recap, the 9900K 8-core 16-thread got a score of 33,000, the 9700K 8-core 8-thread got a score of around 30,000, and the 9600K around 23,500. And that last one is the one that stood out to me. In the last years, we've been pretty hard on Intel because they kept giving us small increments in terms of performance upgrade. I mean, the bump every year for the last maybe 10 years was around 15 to 10%. Well, this year, it might be a record. If Intel considers this a 9th gen CPU, well, the 9600K will give you a 4% advantage over the 8600K. 4%. Yeah, that's the multi-core score. I mean, sure, you go single core, then you'll have a whopping 6.5% improvement. I mean, really? Why even bother making a 9600K? That's the only difference. And that difference is likely all clock speeds related anyways. I understood the 8086K because it was a novelty thing, you know, a special edition of the 8700K to remember the original 8086. So they clocked it higher just to make it a little more worthwhile. But this? It just doesn't seem right. At least I hope that the 9600K's power consumption will be cut drastically. I mean, that could make it worthwhile for some people. I know the 9700K and 9900K are the focus on these new chips, but they will also be in a new price tier. So in my opinion, Intel isn't helping move performance forward. They're just adding a step to the actual ladder. What about you guys? What do you think about the 9600K and also the 9900K? Moving on, I've ignored them for a while, so it's time to round them up since, the announcement is in 2 days. The Apple event is set to include 3 new iPhones. First, we have an updated version of the iPhone X, which apparently will be called the iPhone XS. With that, a larger version called the XS Max or Plus is also going to be there. The third device will be called the iPhone XC, which is apparently a 6.1-inch iPhone X, but with an LCD instead of an OLED display. All of those leaks are all over the place, and the naming scheme, in my opinion, gets a little bit confusing. I mean, I get that the iPhone XC is maybe supposed to be in remembrance to the cheaper iPhone 5C, but I don't think that Apple wants their new devices to be associated with the unapologetically plastic phone. Anyways, I wanted to touch on those so I would be up to date on Apple devices before the Gather Round event coming up this Wednesday. In other phone news, we have Razer, which apparently is gearing up for the Razer Phone 2 already. A Geekbench score shows the Razer Phone 2 with 8GB of RAM and a Snapdragon 845. While it doesn't explicitly say that it's a Snapdragon 845, the identifier of the processor is the exact same as other phones with the same chip. The bump to 8-core makes the phone have about twice the performance in multi-core, which is pretty impressive. According to Antutu, the device will also support 512 gigabytes of memory and an Adreno 630 GPU. The one thing that probably won't change is that 1440p 120Hz display. But really, who would want to change that? That is the one perfect thing that Razer has on their phone. Moving on to some gaming news, it seems like the Nintendo Cloud Saves feature will be optional and up to the developer. The main reason why a game might want to not include it is to prevent cheating. Nintendo revealed that in certain games, this feature would make it possible to, for example, regain items that have been traded to other players or revert to a higher online multiplayer ranking that had been lost. To ensure fair play, save data cloud backup may not be enabled for such game. How stuck in the past are Nintendo's save system to allow that to happen? I mean, I get the problem, but isn't that something that every other consoles have figured out already? Anyways, in terms of games that won't support it, Splatoon 2 was the first one to come forward, FIFA 19, Dark Souls Remasters, and both versions of Pokemon Let's Go will also not support cloud saves. Alright, moving on, a lot of you guys have asked for it, and the live stream will be back this weekend. This time, I'll have a little more structure, but we'll keep the live interactions going still. We do like a half an hour comment section and a half an hour live interaction. There also might be an after party on my channel where we'll play some Black Ops 4 beta or some Overwatch, depending on if I can get the game up and running in time. So stay tuned and make sure you have that notification bell enabled. And that's pretty much it for the news, guys. Don't forget to leave me a like if you liked it, a comment down below with a question about my dog, and click right here to subscribe to the channel, and right here to see the latest video. Right, boom boom. I'm not gonna sing it again. Alright, so stay frosty, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh!